This is an alternate timeline, and it starts with one decision Texas Tech football could not undo, refusing to centralize authority around Mike Leach in 2006. That choice didn't just cost games, it rewired how the Big 12 judged competence and how national media interpreted instability, and how Texas Tech quietly howled itself out while another absorbed its power. This isn't about highlights. This is about institutional ripple effects. At the time, Texas Tech sat in the danger zone of college football. Not elite, not disposable. Programs in that tier survive only if they know who they are. So when Texas Tech chose administrative oversight over centralized authority, the signal wasn't local, it was national. Because if a Big 12 program can't commit to its own operating model, every conference peer recalibrates around that weakness. In this timeline, the break isn't personal, it's philosophical. Mike Leach wants control over assistants, control over recruiting archetypes, control over weekly operations. Texas Tech wants shared governance, donor input, structural oversight. Neither side blinks. So Mike Leach resigns. Not fired, not forced out. He walks away. And that distinction matters because it forces the institution to reveal what it believes comes next. Wait, this is where it breaks. Because Texas Tech doesn't replace the system, they replace a personality. And that's the moment the program stops being coherent. The disaster hire that comes next looks brilliant on paper. It's Mike Martz, a nationally recognized offensive mind, NFL credentials, media cachet. But institutional, it's a mismatch. No college recruiting grounding, no regional relationship network, no patience for developmental timelines. The pitch is polish. The reality is disconnect. National media reaction is immediate and surgical. This doesn't feel like Texas Tech. That sentence will never leave the program because it's not about wins or losses, it's about misalignment. Texas Tech's response isn't panic, it's force. It's procedural flexibility. Each internal adjustment makes sense in isolation. Coordinator changes, recruiting pivots, messaging resets. But together, they create something corrosive. No through line, no protected identity, no memory of what must not change. Big 12 leadership notices, not publicly, quietly, and they stop treating Texas Tech as unreliable luck. They treat it as administratively unreliable, and that's permanent. While Texas Tech fragments, the universe moves on. And among those other programs, one of those ends up hiring Mike Leach, same coach, same ideas, different institutional behavior, and suddenly what looked like quirky success becomes repeatable governance. And the program that benefits from this is Kansas State. By the early 2010s, the national framing flips. Kansas State with Mike Leach in charge is described as disciplined, coherent, annoying to play. Meanwhile, Texas Tech is described as energetic, volatile, and unpredictable. Those sound similar, they are not. One compounds, the other resets. And Big 12 leadership begins using one as an internal model and the other as a cautionary case. One downstream consequence of this is that the NIL exposes the hollow core. When NIL and the portal arrive, they don't break Texas Tech, they reveal it. Because NIL doesn't reward resources, it rewards alignment. At Texas Tech, donors speak past coaches. Coaches manage sideways. Players plan exits. The program becomes transactional, not corrupt, not broken, but hollowed. Kansas State, at this point, they're already aligned, already centralized, and already insulated. By the early 2020s, the media shorthand is locked in. Texas Tech, dangerous on any given Saturday, hard to trust over time. Kansas State, they know exactly who they are. One is volatility absorbed, the other is stability projected. And that difference traces back unbroken to a single administrative decision. Texas Tech football isn't tragic in this timeline. It's functional, competitive, occasionally disruptive, but institutionally hollow. Because once a program teaches itself that direction is optional, that authority is temporary. That identity can be revised midstream. Every future decision becomes harder. And the question that lingers isn't whether Texas Tech could have won more, it's whether once that habit was formed, if they ever again knew what not to compromise. That uncertainty, not failure, is the real legacy of the decision made by Texas Tech in 2006, and it still hasn't stopped echoing. If this kind of institutional analysis is what you come to this channel for, the kind that traces decisions, not box scores, that's what subscribing supports. And if you disagree with where the real rupture happened, put it in the comments because that's where these timelines actually get stress tested.